Hello, greetings, my beautiful brothers and sisters of Gaia. My name is Angelica. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I feel very guided to give a bit of an energetic update, let you know what's going on. There's a lot of purging at the cellular level. Our cells are restructuring. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I wanted to give a bit of an energetic update as well as offer and support to support you in this really profound, intense change, offer an energetic transmission to support you in all of that surrounding all of these, because there's a lot coming in. So to support you in whatever way, in the highest and best way going forward, right? So here we go. What's going on? So starting with the energetic, let's do this. Energetic update, right? So first off, I've been feeling this for the last couple of weeks, or I want to say that at least the last week and a half, very intensely. We're going through a major sacral chakra upgrade. There is, okay, let's see. Sacral chakra clearing, right? One of the biggest, we're already moving energy again. With one of the biggest clearings that's happening right now is clearing out the womb and clearing out all of the old programming that's been there. So if you, it depends. It just, whatever programming that you're holding, as far as, or when it comes to, all of these, I'm gonna read them off, but there's a lot of womb clearing, a lot of purging of the womb at the cellular level, literally to clear all of that out, and so that we can create anew. And you'll see that the cards that came flying out of the deck was like perfect for this. So here's what we're clearing right now. So the mother wound is like, so womb clearing and the mother wound is like two of the biggest things that we're clearing now. And you may have done work on this already, and you may be experiencing a deeper level of excavation, of clearing, of purging. So the mother wound, if you don't know, it's like meeting your needs, getting your needs met, knowing your needs and getting your needs met. So if part of the mother wound talks about how, our mothers didn't know how to get their needs met, right? So we learned by watching our mothers how they expressed their needs and how they got their needs met, if they did. So there's that. So we're learning how to meet our needs in a whole new way. If we're going to birth a new world, we have to learn how to meet our needs first, so that we can fill our cup, and then we can overflow from that cup. Sorry. We can actually overflow from that cup. So we're learning how to meet our needs. We're learning new ways of self-care, self-love. For me, take this if this resonates. For me, it's looking like really being with myself and meeting my needs emotionally, meeting my needs mentally, in the ways that they weren't met when I was a kid. So, sitting with myself if I'm feeling overwhelmed, or if I'm feeling like, oh, I can't do it, or whatever's coming up in the moment, I'm learning how to meet my needs in that way. So a lot of us are learning to meet our needs emotionally, mentally, physically. It doesn't matter which, on all levels, basically. We're learning how to meet our needs on all levels. Self-care, self-love on all levels. A deepening, a refinement, new ways. A new way. If you had a certain self-care routine, it might start changing and shifting, and you're finding new ways to deepen that, and to find new ways to just love on yourself. Coping mechanism, unhealthy coping mechanisms we are purging out. So you may become aware of all of these crazy coping mechanisms that you have and that you have developed over the years. You know, and you gotta remember, don't judge yourself. There's a level of forgiveness here in all of this, level of self, you know, forgiving yourself and having compassion for yourself for not knowing, because, you know, a lot of us did develop unhealthy coping mechanisms from our parents, from our mothers, you know. If our mothers didn't know how to express themselves or get their needs met, you know, we developed unhealthy coping mechanisms. And like, some of those unhealthy coping mechanisms could have been dissociation. For me, I know that was one, is nothing was safe. It wasn't safe for me to be in the body. It wasn't safe, you know, it just wasn't safe. I was unseen, unheard, so I dissociated a lot. And so we're learning, we're purging these unhealthy coping mechanisms from the womb, from the sacral, from all of this area. Low self-worth, definitely low self-worth. This is directly correlated to our abundance, how we attract, what our worth, you know, how we appreciate ourselves or depreciate ourselves by, you know, you know, being hard on ourselves, or, you know, just not being so nice to ourselves, right? You know, I know we all know how to do this. So there is low self-worth. We're purging low self-worth. We're learning ourself. We're learning our worth. We're remembering how freaking amazing we are. We're remembering that, you know, financial abundance, all kinds of abundance, is our birthright. And we're learning how to appreciate ourselves by being present and by all of this, right? So this is all intimately tied into one another. And intimacy is another thing. We're purging, you know, lust-based programs, fear of intimacy, dysfunctional relationship patterns. So that goes in there as well. You know, if we're not able to be intimate and we have, maybe we are emotionally unavailable, there is, you know, dysfunctional relationship patterns that we are clearing right now from the womb space, from the sacral chakra, both men and women alike. This doesn't have anything to do with gender. This is all about energy. Codependency patterns. So there's that. Codependency, boundaries or lack thereof. We're purging the lack of boundaries that we had, that we were able to have, all of that stuff. So and we're going to be establishing new healthy boundaries, and we're going to be like strong in them. So it's time to maybe become aware of any boundaries you need to set and become more strong in them. And if you're going to set them, you got to be willing to take the responsibility and let others know, you know, if there's a boundary for you, if they're crossing a boundary, you know, in healthy ways. So we're learning how to set healthy boundaries and how to express them in healthy ways. Body acceptance. There's a deeper level of body acceptance and like just feeling on ourselves and loving on ourselves through the self-care, through the self-love, through the, you know, being present with ourselves, the forgiveness, the compassion, everything that's coming through. Body acceptance is a big thing. Emotional intelligence and stability. So there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of like lower emotions, and not that, you know, any emotion is wrong or bad, right? It's just lower. When I say lower emotions, I mean emotions that are trapped in the womb from, you know, traumas or belief systems that have us feeling like we're unworthy, you know, unlovable, we're unheard, and we're unseen, and, you know, we feel like, you know, I'm unworthy. So there's a lot of lower feelings as far as, you know, rejection, abandonment wounds, rejection, denial, a lot of, we're clearing illusion out of there as well. Let's see. So there's a lot of just, traumas and lower vibe emotions attached to those experiences is what I'm saying. So we're releasing those emotions. So there's going to be a lot of emotions. There's going to be rage, anger. There's going to be a lot of hurt and just a lot of like bring you to your knees type of realizations, like, oh my effing goodness, how did I not see this whole time? And this may not be your experience, so take it as it resonates, right? But I feel like there's some people out there that are going to experience some of this, and that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Just know that you are a human and you're becoming aware. You don't have to bash yourself. You can have full, complete compassion for yourself. You can accept yourself and love yourself and like have compassion and forgiveness for yourself for not knowing, and this is Earth is a school of mastery. It really is. We come here to gain a level of mastery because it's so dense. It's so challenging here. You really have to have, you really have to be strong. You gotta it really refines us into bright, shiny diamonds and pearls or whatever analogy that you see it as, right? But it really does refine our soul in a very, very beautiful way. It doesn't feel good, but that's okay. It doesn't have to feel good. We're removing a lot of these illusions that emotions, this is what we're purging. This is part of what we're purging, that all emotions have to feel good. When your parents, when you were little, you're a baby, toddler, whatever, and you were crying and your parents were like, no, 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 or look over here, try to get you a treat or get you a treat. So you stopped crying and you stopped, you forgot what you were crying about. That's a level of dissociation. Bless our parents, they didn't know better, but it's a level of dissociating from our emotions. So if your parents did that a lot, or if you do this as a parent, stop. It's, take it as it resonates, but it's if we do it too much, we're actually teaching kids to dissociate from their emotions and not feel their emotions. And then they grow up thinking that all emotions have to feel good. You understand? Sometimes we need to just feel it and let it come out and let all of the ugliness, all of the, just, it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good to let it all come out because we're humans and we're meant to feel all of this. Okay? So yeah, we're going through a lot of emotional intelligence, balancing the emotions, becoming more stable in our emotions as we purge all of these, the emotions that are tied into the traumas. Okay? And so there's abandonment wounds, like I said, abandonment, rejection. So we are purging a lot of abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, abandonment as love, rejection as love, all of these types of experiences. Comparison to others, self-judgment and criticism, self-judgment, self-criticism, and comparison to others. We are purging a lot of these programmings as well. When we're coming into more self-love, self-care, body acceptance, this is one of the other things of, judging ourselves harshly, and criticizing ourselves in the ways that maybe our parents criticize themselves. We're really purging generational wounds here, and soul wounds, soul contract, like all kinds of things here. So fear of displeasing your mother, that's another part of the mother wound, is fear of displeasing your mother. or the woman in your life, and it goes all the way back to your mother, the mother wound. Fear of displeasing your mother, people pleasing, which leads into people pleasing, and different various forms of that. Gaslighting too. I don't have it written here, but gaslighting is another thing. So if we were gaslighted as kids, our whole reality was denied by our parents, raise your hand. We're purging layers of gaslighting as well, and we're learning how to come up out of that and recognize where we have been gaslighted. Self-trust. So we're coming into deeper levels of self-trust. This is really, really, in the sacral. I feel like it's rooted in the root, and then it grows up from the sacral and it goes into the plexus. But we're learning how to really trust ourselves, trust our intuition, trust our creativity, trust our alignment so that we can move forward. This is all about coming into a greater form of alignment, a greater capacity of alignment. Manipulating. So, when we were kids, we learned how to manipulate. And no matter the association that you, or whatever connotation that you associate manipulation, the word manipulation with, whether it's negative or positive to you, there's always a higher expression and a lower expression of it. And there's all expressions of it in between, right? So with this manipulating, we learned how to manipulate when we were kids. We learned how to, get what we want, or, if we felt unseen or unheard, we learned how to cope, right? We learned how to manipulate to maybe get other things met and maybe overcompensate. So there's a lot of very, very intimately connected. All of these are very intimately connected. And so it's up to you to see how they tie in. But this is a long list. And I'm sure you'll be able to find it and see it for yourself. So authenticity and vulnerability, this whole thing of having, with this deepening of emotional intelligence and emotional stability, then there comes, sometimes we were maybe taught to not show our emotions, not show how we truly felt. And so within all of that balancing of the emotions and coming into a more stable, peaceful, centered place within that, we're learning how to become more authenticity. We're learning and remembering how to be more authentic in our expression and more vulnerable in our expression. And this is what's going to happen, because how can it not at this point? The world is really showing all of its major wounds, and it's time to be vulnerable and hold space for one another. And the way we do that is we have to be able to hold space for ourselves. We have to, because we can't have compassion for another until we've had compassion for all the parts of ourselves that we've denied and rejected and disowned. So, and how do we know if we've been doing that? Then you look at, your exterior reality, and see if you've been judging somebody else or criticizing them harshly. And that's where that's a good indicator of where you can look to see of what you have rejected within yourself. So, and also, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of cellular restructuring. They're clearing out the old programmings in the womb, and we're releasing all of these other, soul patterns. And we, literally throughout lifetimes, we've had these soul patterns, and we're finally releasing them in this life and during this time. And there's deep energetic purging. So if you're watching this, I hear riding the wave. So if you're watching this, you are somewhere in the frame of, as you purge this, you're going to be able to ride the wave that's actually coming up and behind us. So, and I don't know exactly what that is, but that's what I'm hearing. So, as far as the cards that I pulled, I know this video is running a little long, but there's so much that wanted to come through, and I was like, okay, let's do it. If it's going to help, then I want it to help. I want to help. So the first card that I pulled, and I pulled from the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Blue. And then, you know, I'm just asking Spirit, you know, what related to this, what's coming up, you know, let me know. And this is birthing a new age. So all of the cellular restructuring, all of this purging out of the womb area, out of the sacral chakra, it's so we can birth a new age, new ideas, new ways of being. It is time. Some people are doing it already, but like the rest of us have got to get on our shit, right? No pressure. There's no pressure. There's never any pressure. You're doing just exactly what you need to do, right? So don't feel any pressure, but what we're moving towards is birthing a new age. And to do that, to birth from this creative center, right, we have to eliminate and excavate and divest ourselves of all of this low vibrational shit that we've been carrying for lifetimes, for millennia in some cases, right? And so the second card I got, this is funny, and I'm like, they're so funny. They're like, hi, the Pleiades came in. So the Pleiades are, the Pleiadians and the Pleiades 7 sisters are guiding us during this time. They are, I'm going to actually offer another transmission from the Pleiades. I'm hearing them come through, and they're like, yeah, because it's just about time for 2 times a year there is something called the Pleiadian Lineup, and it happens in May or March. I think it's May, but I can't remember if it's March. It's one of the M months, and then November 15th through the 20th, and it's where the Pleiades lines up with the earth, and we get a blast of their light and their love. And so I'm going to offer another transmission from them to you, to support you through that time. So look for that in the near future. But they're coming in. They're saying, you know, like, it's time to uplift humanity, uplifting humanity. It is time. It is time for us to uplift ourselves, to empower ourselves, to inspire ourselves into a new way of being, right? And this is what this massive purging is about. Okay. And the next one is Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And this is all about purging all of that cellular memory. All of the cellular memory, so we can literally be free. So we can, because we're bioenergetic computers, right? We can release all of that software, all of that hardware, and program ourselves, bring in new patterning, new contracts that are uplifting, that would help uplift ourselves and humanity, bring ourselves fulfillment, financial abundance, and successful relationships that are healthy, that are interdependent instead of codependent. You know, all of these different things having to do with all of these different aspects of the sacral chakra. Okay. And the last one that I got from this deck was the Ever Unfolding Rose. Cracked open. It is happening for you, not to you. As intense, as fuck as this is happening for you. This is happening for your highest good. It's happening for you to align to the highest timelines, to align to your highest self. It is for us. It is for our highest good. It's not happening to us, it's happening for us. Okay, so I also grabbed a couple more from the Cosmic Consciousness Ascension deck by Jamie Price. And that's backwards, but you get the idea. And I really want to share these ones too before I get into the energetic transmission, because these brought in really great insights for going forward, and like maybe some other things that, some nooks and crannies that maybe you didn't explore before. So the first one, they actually kind of came out, they came out together. And the first one is manipulation. Excuse me. And that's light language. So, oh, excuse me. So what I was talking about manipulation before, you know, we allowed ourselves to be manipulated. You know, that's how we learned how to manipulate. Because we were manipulated. We were manipulated into not feeling our feelings, right? We were manipulated into cutting off our creativity. We were manipulated into feeling shame and guilt. Those are other things that we're purging during this time, is shame, guilt, around pleasure, joy, sexuality, sensuality, any sacral chakra aspect that you can think of or that you associate with the sacral chakra is what's being cleared right now. Guilt, shame, blame, feeling guilty for pleasure, you know, around your sexuality, around your sensuality, around just feeling pleasure and joy, you know, creating joy, creating a life of joy. So manipulation, going back to manipulation. Let me turn the page. So manipulation, there was some other things that I found so beautiful in here. This light language is assisting you to recognize manipulation and release the unconscious or conscious need to use it or to allow it. It is initiating a power that feels safe with authenticity. And that's another thing of authenticity, right? Forgive yourself for using or falling for manipulation. Discover how to create what you want without coercing anyone. Hold your boundaries compassionately, strongly, and calmly when another tries to manipulate you. So boundaries, again, coming in with the emotional balance of not getting triggered and just being like, no, just holding them calmly. And that's a big thing, especially for me. If you're like me, it's like, whoa, because I wasn't allowed to have boundaries. So when I started bringing them in, it was like, no, I had to fight for my boundaries. And now it's like, whoa, I don't have to fight for them anymore. I didn't have to ever fight for them, but I thought I did. So it's like bringing that back into balance. There's a lot of balancing of this emotional landscape that we're in. Choose authenticity and honesty to create your future clearly. So manipulation and learning how to manipulate our reality in a high vibe way, right? Rather than like low vibe and really trying to coerce people into doing something and forcing them, but without forcing them, right? Like really like manipulating them to do what we want to do, or manipulating this, because this is another form of control. This is another form of control, a subtler form of control, right? This is one of the offshoots of control. So I release manipulation and discover my power of love to create. Yeah. So the other one, and that's huge. So the other one that I got for Orion, it is for Orion, because you see on this one, it's manipulation, there's Orion, and this is releasing, right? And this is exactly what's happening right now. It's releasing, we're purging it. Same suit. So we're doing Orion. This is like, you know, Orion, or the Orions went through a lot of purging through a lot of dense stuff. So they have a lot of amazing teachings to bestow upon us, to teach us, that we can learn from. And the other one is comparison. What did I say? Comparing ourselves and harshly judging ourselves against somebody, feeling like we don't measure up, we don't add up, that we're not enough, that we're unworthy, right? Then we feel shame and blame and guilt, and like, you know, then we start creating timelines out of guilt and shame rather than joy and pleasure. So comparison. And comparison, I wanted to read, I compare only when it helps me choose for myself from love. The Orions learned comparison is not all bad, just like judgment and discernment can be healthy if the energy of lack is not influencing them. With healthy comparison, you observe without judgment, assess your preferences, and solidify your choices. From this perspective, there is no negative emotional charge. Comparison is harmful when you fear something outside of yourself controls your capability to create fulfillment. Your happiness then becomes weighed against what others have instead of what you want. As you release fear of your incapability within, you are opening your understanding that this abundant universe can provide joy in infinite ways. You then observe life as supporting your joy, not taking it from you. This card is asking you to review how you utilize the analytical nature of your brain. Does it outweigh your heart or assist the flow of love in your life? Does it make you feel badly about yourself? Comparison can limit or expand you. Your attention to your feelings and intentions will help you utilize it for empowerment. Dang, the light language is allowing you to discover the positive benefits of comparison as you release fear and lack from within. It is supporting your wisdom of an abundant universe. Release the need to compare yourselves to others until you are stronger and feel no fear of lack. Each being is unique, valuable, and continuously changing. Find joy for another's success as they are blazing a trail for you too. Nurture yourself emotionally and take small action steps. So all of that ties in to the sacral chakra and what we are releasing. And so with all of that, let me see if something else wants to come through. Yeah, we're releasing a lot. So have forgiveness. Have forgiveness for yourself, compassion, acceptance, and non-attachment. You know, we're releasing these things, and as they release out of our field, they come up, or a thought pops into our head, and we can spin out on the thought if we are not conscious or aware. So be gentle with yourselves during this time. This is a major upgrade. There also might be physical pain. You know, I was seeing other readings as talking about, like, you know, maybe pain in the ovaries, or an early period, a late period, things like that. But definitely there's physical sensations here too. It could be lower back pain, the back of the sacral chakra, right? So it could be lower back into the womb, wrapping around to the womb, and go as deep as into the root chakra. So there's also physical symptoms with this as well as exhaustion, sleeping a lot, and yeah, there's like a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but those are the ones that I've personally experienced. Just exhausted and sleeping a lot, and your rhythms might be off right now, because we're releasing all of this so that the rhythm can kind of it's like catching back into the lockstep, into the cog, right? So the cogs can move freely now, rather than how they were moving. They could have been like this before, and now they're like, okay, we're clearing all of this space so that we can, go like this. Okay. So here we go. 33 minutes in, almost 34 minutes in. Here is an energetic transmission. And I'm going to unobstruct my hands. So if you would like to receive this, just intend to receive and do so, and be open. It works best when you're open to receiving and you set the intention to receive. This is always in the highest intention. So I have this highest intention for you, and may you receive exactly what it is that you need, and may it land wherever it needs to land to support you and guide you in your way, in your path, your highest path forward. So releasing all that no longer serves your highest good, your highest self, and aligning to the highest timelines that are relevant for you. Aligning you further in your expression, in your authenticity, in your vulnerability, in your emotional intelligence and stability. Release, release, release all that no longer serves. Set your intentions to release all of it. And so shall it be. This is a time to release all of the programming no longer serving you, so that you can be in your highest service moving forward. So that you can be clear in your channel, in yourself, in your being, moving forward. And you may move and navigate through this changing landscape with clarity and with peace of mind and peace of heart. Purging the old programming, creating space for expansive programming that serves you in the highest way, that aligns you with your spirit. It is safe to release. You do not have to hold these programs anymore. It is safe. It is safe to release. It is safe to release. Allowing yourself to receive the new downloads coming in, the new energies coming in, the highest of the highest frequencies of light, new upgrades coming in to download If you would like to download it, then please say yes. Installing the new upgrades. So as the old programming purges from your system, it will inspire the new programming to kick on. This programming is not all automatic. You have to install the new codes, some of the new programming. Yes, it is expansive. Yes, it is uplifting, although it is also your choice as to what programming, what beliefs, what thoughts, what emotions you prefer to experience. This is with your intention in mind. So this is interactive. Which programming would you like to install? Which programming would you like to install? What high vibe thoughts, emotions, beliefs would you like to install? That I am worthy of everything that is relevant for me. I am abundant. I am worthy. I am fabulous. I am magnificent. I am clear in my communication. I am present in my body. I create joy and pleasure. What do you wish to... These are just examples. What do you wish to install? The choice is yours, dear one. Know that these programs will be installed. As the old ones purge, the new ones will be ignited. And as you add to this new template, so shall it be. You will create momentum and power. This is simply a jumping off point where you are receiving a fertile ground that will amplify your intention. Use it wisely, use it well. And also, this transmission cannot be misused by those who maybe are wanting to misuse it. May this serve you in the highest and best way going forward, as in preparation for 2021 and being your highest self, aligning with the highest timelines and your highest, your best self, your highest destiny, right? Your greatest destiny. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself lots of love, lots of presence, lots of compassion, forgiveness if you need it, non-attachment, and acceptance right now. You are worth it. You are just, it feels like, on a lot of levels, it feels like we're dying, and we are, because there's this cell death. There's this like internal, deep internal death that's happening, transformation, death and rebirth that's happening right now. So be gentle with yourself, and I love you. Have a beautiful now. I love you.